On December 8, 2023, the United Nations held a vote on calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The way this was brought about was through a rarely used Article 99. Article 99 states, quote, "The Secretary General, in this case Antonio Guterres, may bring to the attention of the Security Council any matter which in his opinion may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security." This comes on the heels of more than 15,000 Palestinians who have been killed by indiscriminate airstrikes and 100 UN aid workers killed by Israel in Gaza. Antonio Guterres' reasoning has been that international law must be applied both ways, and that while what Hamas did on October 7th was horrendous, that does not give Israel the right to walk all over international law. 15 nations voted, with even more nations allowed to speak. Prior to the vote, every nation had a chance to be heard. Those countries include the 5 permanent members: Russia, China, the United States, UK, and France, and 10 non-permanent members: Albania, Brazil, Ecuador, Gabon, Ghana, Japan, Malta, Mozambique, Switzerland, and the UAE. Palestine started off by asking the other countries to support the resolution.
Our security and our very existence is under threat.
Israel started filibustering for over 20 minutes. Russian Representative Dmitry Polyansky took the opportunity to call out the US and Israel for working in conjunction to flood Gaza with seawater, a blatant war crime.
Shocking information disseminated about Israeli plans to flood underground facilities in the Gaza Strip with seawater.
China's ambassador Zhang Zhun followed by saying that there were no words to describe the tragedy in Gaza, and warned that the conflict would spread across the region if continued. The rest of the countries echoed the same sentiments of calling for a ceasefire, except for the UK and US. In an expected move, they denounced the resolution and said we must keep fighting Hamas. When the time came to vote on the resolution, 13 countries voted to pass it. The UK voted to abstain from voting. With the US being the only ones left, the representative to the US seemed a little too eager to reject the ceasefire.
Against?
Since the US is a permanent member of the Security Council, their no vote counts as a veto and the resolution fails altogether, thus allowing for Israel to continue killing more innocent people in the name of death. Mass demonstrations and protests show that a majority of US citizens desire an end to the bloodshed. Who stands to gain from this outcome? A desirable outcome for both the Israelis and Palestinians can come through true economic development for the region as a whole. The Oasis Plan, first worked out by American economist Lyndon LaRouche in consultation with Israeli government officials in 1975, is a program which will provide water management, transportation, and large-scale nuclear power to desalinate water, and which will allow for fresh water sources throughout the Middle East and North African region. A ceasefire must be brought about immediately, but this peace will never be permanent unless a stable future is created for the millions of Palestinians who now face unbearable poverty, death, and disease at the hands of an imperialist system which considers such lives dispensable and worthless.